Steph much or at all before you came in?
No, I studied the hell out of him, though.
Yeah.
I watch all his highlights. I watch all his games. If he's playing, I'm that guy that's always like, yo, I gotta watch him play because like the way he moves off the ball and the way everybody just gravitates. I'm just like amazed of how he just figures it out.
This is getting ridiculous. After trading arguably the second best shooter in the history of the NBA, the Warriors somehow snagged the league's next best shooter en route to snatching multiple records within the first 2 games of the season. To say this team is deadly would be an understatement. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Switch Culture. The Warriors have been underdogs for half of the championships they won with Stephen Curry. It seems even comical at times because do these analysts actually even believe what they are saying?
But I don't know a trade out there that can put them over the top to compete for a championship. Dude, they're so far away from winning a championship now. They don't have the size. They don't have the athleticism. They don't have the shooting. They just don't have the talent that some of these other teams that can put on the floor to match up.
But then you look at who pays the analysts to speak. That time Paul Pierce got fired and what he had to say about it. It all makes sense. From the 2016 NBA Finals onwards, the disrespect for this team and its ability to win championships was loud. And even before then, the only respect they ever gave the Warriors was in the acquisition of Kevin Durant, one of the greatest players in NBA history without a doubt. But it wasn't just that. It was something more. Follow the money trail. From LeBron James to ESPN to Nike. Without this level of LeBron dribble, drip, gobbledygook, slip, slime, surf, slurping, the NBA would be dripping Warriors glaze after taking it to the chin every time Stephen Curry hit a 3. But yeah, guess I'm glazing the Warriors. But don't let the media distract you from what Buddy Hield did on the road in Salt Lake City after ripping up Moda Center. What Buddy's doing makes Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s offseason seem diabolical. 2 games in a row, the Warriors started off a bit sluggish. The second unit came in and brought the heater, the toaster, and the microwave. By the end of the third quarter, Stephen Curry might as well have been in Jamaica sipping margaritas like I was. This is sick. After putting together this assembly of what I'd like to literally term Warriors, to back what has started off as an historic run by Golden State, there's no question, the league is in trouble. Watch the entire video to understand just why and how the Jazz got shredded. Before that, however, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Swish Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. Now get ready. You're about to get Forgive me for thinking Lauri Markkanen was going to teach the Warriors a lesson for not giving up their young guys. While the Jazz aren't exactly contenders, they have the same number of All-Stars as Golden State from 2023 to the present. Taking that into consideration, there is no reason for the Warriors to have completely dismantled this team in 3 quarters, locking up Markkanen like early season tour dates and keeping the Jazz offense less potent than the 90s Grizzlies, the worst team in the league back then by far, which somehow managed to average more than 5 points higher than what Utah put up in their effort against the supposedly far from contending Golden State Warriors. Steve continued with his big lineup and has committed to giving this lineup a good shot before he changes it. After burying the Utah Jazz in a 41-point devastation and then surveying the wreckage, Kerr stated that he will continue with this lineup.
What did you think of the starters? They got down big again early, but then second half kind of flipped the script.
Yeah, much better second half. We're going to keep going with it. The whole point of it is for defensive purposes.
This formula, while not seeming effective in the first 6 minutes, has still led to disproportionate wins. This is the lineup I've stated that Kerr will go with, and it seems the team is on board. Draymond Green spoke on this particular topic and had this to say.
What do you think of that group? And Steve seems pretty committed to it. Like, can this work?
Well, it can for sure work. We won each game by 35 points. In the second half, that unit has been dominant. You know, that unit is still learning how to play. We didn't have Wigs all training camp. Now, this lineup is getting a chance to get some minutes together. And I think what you'll start to see is we'll be able to settle in more offensively. we're coming out in that first quarter and everybody's just trying to get to it, go, 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 because we want that lineup to do well so bad. And so everybody's kind of coming out pressing. Then once we settle down, that lineup, it takes over our size, our athleticism. We're getting out and running, we're attacking the rim, getting kick-out threes. And the game is changing for us in the third quarter.
Dre's assessment is pretty spot on. There's a lot of pressure going in to start, but once they settle in and they roll up in the third quarter, they shut it down. I gave you the skinny on Hield in the last video, but as long as Buddy keeps breaking records, we're gonna keep talking about them. After leading the team in scoring and dropping 27 points, going 7 of 9 from distance, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 10 of 14 from the field, a plus 24 off the bench on a Friday night in Utah in only 20 minutes, Hield has broken 2 records on top of making NBA history. He's made the most three-pointers in the first 2 games to start the season in Warriors history. He has the most points scored in first 2 games off the bench in Warriors history, as well as the only player in NBA history to average 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 threes in less than 20 minutes played. My goodness, is Hield even human? Whatever Hield has been doing since his acquisition by Golden State needs to be studied, benchmarked, and replicated in a lab setting. They need to study the way he walks, the way he talks, what side of the bed he sleeps on, the way he breathes. Somehow, we need to infect the rest of the team with whatever this dude has been carrying, because I am willing to bet LAPD's last donut shop Hield gets tested in the next 2 days. This is literally insane. I'll share exactly how Buddy's able to do this as we get closer to the end of this video. First, however, we'll take a look at his teammate. A couple of months ago, I shared this video detailing the Andrew Wiggins comeback. A lot of people thought Wiggins was going to be a non-factor this season and that he'd check out, but we already knew better. We did the math, checked the charts, watched his film, and came up with the most accurate analysis of Wiggins that showed exactly what we're seeing from Andrew in his first 2 performances. After putting up 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists on 4 of 7 from 3 in only 23 minutes, Andrew Wiggins has been relentless. The man had 13 boards, 5 assists, and 2 big-time blocks, while scoring 10 on 50% shooting from three-point range, finishing with a plus 17 in the same number of minutes as in the last game. Wiggins is definitely back, and we saw what Steph Curry was able to do with this version of Wiggins and Poole off the bench with Kevon Looney as their starting center. Speaking of Looney, he came back this season in impressive form, losing some weight, becoming more mobile, and even developing a mid-range jump shot. His improvement wasn't only for show, however, as he almost had a double-double, going for 10 rebounds and 9 points in just 13 minutes. 13 minutes! This version of Kevon Looney could start on any team in the league, but he's still behind Trace. TJD himself almost had a double-double with 12 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists while going 6 of 6 from the field. Trace Jackson Davis has not missed a single shot since the season started. Now, I don't know what other teams are doing, but if you're not watching the Golden State Warriors, you're not doing because at the moment, the Warriors are fielding 2 top 10 centers in the league if this keeps up. Don't forget, Trace is now 6'10", and we haven't even gotten to the best part yet. On my mama, the league is in trouble. This is where we pivot to the real reason why this team is so deadly. Before I say this, disclaimer, I want you guys to note one thing. This cannot be replicated by any other team in the league this season. And 2, if Steve Kerr understands why it works, you might as well hand the championship to the Warriors. If not, he better talk to Draymond because Green clearly already knows this. So here goes. Now, we knew this Warriors offense was going to be terrifying. I already did the analysis on that, and you can find that video here. But there is another dimension to this offense that I didn't get into detail on because Steve didn't really come clean on his tactic initially. I mean, he lied. So the initial plan, as stated by Kerr, was to run 10 guys. A fact we know now to be not exactly quite true. A 10-man team would not be able to do what the Warriors are doing right now. This is strength in numbers on steroids. The Terry Stotts offense integrated with the motion offense is like harmonizing music. Remember how Steve said these guys would be focusing on pace? The players would express how hard the practices were and how important it was to come out running.
Just running more. The main focus was just Steve was talking how we all got to be in shape because we're going to be playing faster.
We then saw a full display in the Portland game where the pace was ballistic. The size of the first unit was very much a deterrent, and it seemed that the opposing team would give the Warriors the business. While not entirely intentional, this was a total setup. Having to get through the Warriors' massive size in their starting lineup puts a high level of wear on the starters of the opposing team. The substitutions allow the Warriors to turn over the team entirely, putting the team's bench, which itself is capable of starting, up against a now tired and heavily breathing opponent. Marksman Buddy is now able to get an extra step on defenders with his quick trigger. The defenses can't keep up. There's a lot more to this pace than just shooting threes and getting extra possessions. With a 12-man rotation, you get 2 starting units that come out and play 20 to 25 minutes each, plus 2 super subs. This gives the Warriors' second team either tired first options or sad second-string players to go up against, running up the score. This is only possible when you don't have players with egos coming off the bench, showing that this team is well managed. Once we get to the third quarter, the opposition think they've adjusted. Either that or they're dog-tired from their first unit trying to run through the Warriors' defense, or their second unit trying hopelessly to keep up with the Warriors' second unit. The defensive starting lineup goes in and easily dominates a now worn first unit and runs up the lead even further. They destroy any hope of a comeback, and Stephen Curry, along with Draymond, get to rest in the fourth. Like back in the old days, reducing injuries and getting these guys primed for the playoffs when they will do what they do best. This is just a sick tactic by a disgusting coaching staff and front office. The good thing is, not many outside the Warriors circle will realize what is happening, and by the time they do, it'll be too late. The Warriors don't have a second superstar, and with one of the cheaper rosters in the league, they've managed to turn that factor into a positive. I can't wait to see what other team actually has a nasty enough group to win against this Warriors squad fully healthy. They can't lose. But let me know what you think about this Warriors tactic, whether or not they have to switch it up for the postseason, and if so, who they'll have to move on from. JK continues to struggle a bit in this lineup, but let's see what happens with more rope. This is the opportunity he's been asking for. I can't wait to read your comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish!